quarter. It's been a very fast first quarter. Only really about 15 legitimate minutes have passed, and we're at about 8 minutes and 39 seconds gone by on the game clock. So North takes over the football, and it looks like they're going to trot out number 1 as far as quarterback. That's Aaron Hash again. We already saw him on the previous drive. So this is his second series. He from Campbellsville, Kentucky. And he's out of the shotgun. He has 2 running backs back there with him. He also has 2 wide receivers set wide. Running back in motion. It's going to be a handoff. And it's number 7. And he's going to be tackled once again. A gain of about 0. That was Sincere Thomas' second carry. He doesn't get much. Sincere Thomas from Elk Grove, California. He went to Toby Johnson Middle School. And he's 5'8", 140. So another kind of speed demon of sorts for the running backs. And we have a second down upcoming, less than a minute now gone left in the first quarter.
Well, no score so far, but South looking to make a big stop here on defense as the North takes over. It's a day of running backs, so we'll see what we got in store in this play here.
Hash with the kick puts runner in motion. It's going to be a handoff, and it's going to be number 7 again. So Sincere Thomas once again with the carry. Hash once again with the handoff. And once again, not much on the play. It's a gain of about 3, and it's going to set up a 3rd and 7. And they might get one more play off here in the first quarter, as we're now under 20 seconds. The North side does not seem to be in any sort of rush to get a snap here, but they are set up here as we head down to 10 seconds. Looks like they are going to get a playoff. Hash here, runners in motion. He's out of the shotgun. He's got 2 back with him, 2 wide. And he's going to fake a handoff. Now he's going to try and run it, and he's going to get a few yards. First quarter wraps up. Hash short of a first down. It's pick up about 3. Should be about a 4th and 4. And just like that, we are through our first quarter. There is no score here in the 7th, and 8th, and 9th grade All-Star game between the North and the South. Jake, what do you think of that first quarter so far?
Well, it's a defensive battle for sure. It's a battle of switching field position as well, but these youngsters have come to play, and I gotta say, I think the one thing I've noticed so far is everyone is incredibly fast. It really just all the kids out there are running really quickly, and it's really cool to see such young kids do that.
And it may just be the ages, but a lot of Darren Sproles built running backs. I agree. We've got a lot of kind of the shorter, faster running backs as opposed to the power backs, and it's tough to be a power back when you're in 7th or 8th grade. But so far, you're right. We have seen a lot of speed out of the backfield. Unfortunately, if you are a fan of the offensive game, we have not seen that speed go very far because the defense has done such a great job. So we're 10 minutes through. First quarter's over. 10-minute quarters. Second quarter beginning here. We'll see what North elects to do with the ball as it is 4th down. It looks like they've actually decided to use their punting strategy. So South's going to come out from the 35. Of course, no punt actually took place. They just start from the 35-yard line. So South's going to come out with the ball, and this has been, so far, the extent of the action has just been switching sides to the 35 and not scoring yet. So,
speaking of switching sides, we had some technical difficulties there. People on Facebook were telling us to flip our cam. So
yeah.
The reason why my silence was there for a little bit was because I had to structure up the Facebook live feed.
There we go, punting formation of our own. Just switching sides there.
You can also tune in on NUC Football, their Facebook page. We actually have a better filmed version of the game with our voices on top. So if you're looking to get a better view of the game as well as the broadcast, check out us on NUC Football.
Number 5 back in for quarterback. He's going to hand it off backwards, and it's going to be a gain of about nothing. Common theme so far early on here. Not much there on the handoff. Pete Hogan still in at quarterback and still handing it off, and that is going to set up a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 9. They officially mark it a gain of 1.
Well, it was a halfback sweep, and the halfback, the running back, I should say, Kyrie Neverson, was able to make something out of nothing, really. Get back to a little bit above the line of scrimmage, but his offensive line just buckled completely on that play, and they're going to have to really block for him if they're going to be looking to move the ball down the field today.
Brandon Cray, number 7 wide receiver, set up on the bottom here on Hogan's left. We'll see if they have a connection yet. Pate Hogan behind center. He's got number 28 in motion. It's going to be a handoff to the right side. Number 13, he's got a little bit of daylight, but unfortunately not going to get much. A gain of about 1, really well defended there by the North. It looked like there might be some more daylight on the right side after some penetration collapsed the pocket. But very well covered by the linebackers, and not much there. Gain of 1.
DJ Abate on the run there. He's from Crystal Rivers High in Florida. He's playing double duty today, both running back and cornerback. And he had the ball there. It looked like he had a lot of room ahead of him to run. But when you're calling a run play, your wide receivers are equally as important because they're out there to block. And when they don't make their blocks, which happened in this case, that it can really crash the play and not make it develop.
3rd down now, 3rd and 8 from their own 37-yard line. Here comes Hogan out of the shotgun. 2 running backs next to him. This time he's passing. Hogan's looking downfield. He's going to go for 7. It is caught by number 7 to the 30, 25. He is free to go. No one's going to catch him, and we have our first score. Touchdown, South.
Brandon Cray with an unbelievable grab. The defensive back shortened up to try to make a play on it. He was too short on that, and Brandon Cray is able to come up with it. He hails from Smithfield, North Carolina, and just like that, he's in the end zone for 6, and the South take an early lead here.
It was a breakdown of coverage. As you mentioned, it looked like he wanted to go for the interception, realized the ball went further than he thought he did, and one man's trash, another man's treasure, as Brandon Cray takes advantage of the mistake, and he catches it, and then he's wide open for the touchdown. And the South is up 6-0. Now we'll see what they do. They don't kick extra points, as we said, but they do go for 2. So it is Hogan back there behind center, Pate Hogan. He's going to another passing play. It worked, why not? And he's going to go to the back of the end zone, and that's caught. So just like that, after no scoring for an entire quarter, Noah Richardson comes down with the 2-point conversion, and we have an 8-0 South lead as they introduce the passing game, and they introduce with success.
Well, your eyes light up. When you're a quarterback and you see the quarterback stock up to throw in your direction and throw a rainbow pass, your eyes light up. You think you're going to grab it easily, but when you misjudge the ball, just like a center fielder in baseball, it could cost you dearly, and it did right there, and the South are able to capitalize on a defensive back's mistake for a big score.
Here comes the North side now trying to respond. 8-0 South, 8:04 to go in the second quarter. Of course, the North taking over the ball at the 35. It's the only option as far as this game goes with no kicking game. North coming back out, and it looks like number 4 is going to be their quarterback now. Of course, they work in a 4-quarterback rotation. This is Robbie Long from Dunstable, Massachusetts, back out there to try and lead this offense and respond.
See what the North has. They're going to start with pretty good field position at their own 45. I go for the same thing. I go deep right back. Call it tight end in motion.
And he's in trouble, just going to go down there. Great pressure there from the South side. Robbie Long had nowhere to go, and he's just going to kind of tackle himself there. It's going to be a sack on the play. Not sure it'll officially be credited to, but there were 3 or 4 players back there.
Well, I think Robbie Long noticed what we noticed, and that's the offensive line broke down. That seems like what it's been. Both games today, the offensive line has been really struggling to provide protection for their quarterbacks, and that's what's happening.
Absolutely. So North coming out here, it is a 2nd and 16, and there's a throw over to the right side, and it is dropped. Would not have been much of a big play there. Throw is over to the right, intended for number 80 on the North side, and incomplete. Matthew Caires could not come up with it. He, a freshman out of New York. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 16 now.
All right, so technical difficulties have been plaguing this game besides the on-the-field switches. Hopefully we have our Facebook Live up and running where you guys can see a better field of play here. If not, just give us a shout in the chat and let us know. We'll flip the camera around. All right, well, the North here looking to do some damage. It's a 3rd down and very long 16. They haven't been able to move the ball much, They're probably going to be looking to hit a wide receiver on the outside here as it looks like they're facing zone defense.
Long the lefty, looking over to his left, and he throws it, he gets hit hard. And that is going to be caught after all. Great catch there. Long took a hit in the backfield, able to make the throw, and then it's able to be caught. So a nice play by the North. That's their biggest play by far of the game. And finally, a connection formed there with number 25, Zaire Jackson. They'd been trying earlier in the game to no avail. This one is successful, and now they're at the South 36, first down.
Zaire Jackson, another guy who's playing both sides of the ball. He gets man-on-man coverage right down the seam. He runs an out route on the post, and he's able to catch a beautiful spiral for a nice big gain.
So North has some momentum now. They've gone across field. They're across midfield. Ball officially spotted at the 35, and it looks like the referees were not content with whatever the spotting was because they've removed the football and moved it across the far hash. So that's where the North will set up.
All right, here we go. Zaire Jackson back in the slot now.
South defense goes with 4 up front. Looks like a classic 4-3 formation. And a little bit of jockeying for position here. Robbie Long moving his people around.
Robbie Long's confused. Yeah, they're calling timeout.
Now there's confusion. Yeah, North just didn't look comfortable with the setup. And it's going to take a timeout. That should be the first timeout of the game called on the North end. So they have 2 timeouts left. Still 6:41 to go in the half. 8-0 South, but the North threatening.
Well, what started out as a defensive battle early on has turned into exciting passing in both teams, and the North able to convert on a 25-yard pass play on a very long 3rd down. They have a 1st and 10 inside their opponent's territory, looking to move into the South's end zone. We'll see what happens. I think Robbie Long's got to go deep again. I think you keep feeding the players. I don't know why our Facebook Live is going sideways constantly, but something's wrong. Could be settings. We'll figure it out at halftime.
Working on the picture for Facebook Live. Until then, you can just listen to our wonderful voices. Try and get you through that. Maybe look away from the screen for the moment if it's bothering you. But in the meantime, we'll try and get that fixed. North back onto the field after their timeout. That was an official timeout. It was actually taken by the South side, so they have 2 timeouts left.
Wow.
North confused by the situation. South's the one who calls timeout, so tough to keep track of here in this one. It's a shotgun, it's a runner in motion. That's going to be a handoff, number 25 once again, and not much once again, and he's going to be dragged very far back. We'll see where forward progress marks it.
Well, they got that forward progress, right?
Zaire Jackson once again on the carry there, and once again did not get much. The running games really have not worked out early on here. In fact, the only time we've seen a score or any sort of movement has been with the passing game on both sides. Just seems like the coaches don't want to abandon the running game this early.
Well, you know, it's what's interesting is the passing game's working, but if you keep going past, the defense is going to figure it out eventually. So you got to switch up the run. Defense barely able to get their cornerback off the sideline.
Immediate pressure and going down with a sack. Just eaten alive was Robbie Long there. It looked like number 64 and 34 on the south side there to make the tackles. Brandon Burnham was in there. He is out of Florida making that tackle. Listed as an offensive lineman, but he's helping out on defense there, and he comes up with a sack.
Great play there. That was a great rush attack. The run play didn't work. They went back to the pass. The defense timed it, able to pull through and get a big sack. Takes them, well, wow, 3rd down and 25 now. As we're getting help with our Facebook Live. Okay, cool. So 3rd and 25. We'll see what the North has to offer here. As maybe another pass play down the side that worked last time.
I think you have to try something downfield, not only because it's 3rd and 25, but also because it's the only thing that's worked out so far. And once again we have a stoppage play, it looks like this may be another timeout. This time I'm more confident it's coming from the North side, and it does indeed. So now both teams have used it their first timeout. There's 5:02 to go here in the first half, 8-0 South. They have both a touchdown and, of course, a converted 2-point conversion. 3rd and 25, ball is marked at midfield. We're in the second quarter, as mentioned. here in the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade NUC All-Star Showcase here out of Daytona Beach. We're at Municipal Stadium on Larry Kelly Field, and we'll be here all day. Sophomores and juniors finished up earlier today, a 20-10 win by the South Side. We saw a terrific ending to that game. North had the ball at the 6-yard line, looking to win the game as it was a 13-10 score at the time, and instead a interception from end to end sealed it for the South with just about 30 seconds left, and the South took away the victory in our opener. Later today, also stay tuned at 5:30, the biggest showcase of the day, the seniors, some of whom already have commitments to colleges or at least are trying to decide on offers that they have. They'll be playing under the lights 5:30 p.m. That's our final game of the day. Seniors only for that one. But back to our youngest athletes, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. North here trying to convert along 3rd down. It's 3rd and 25. They have, it looks like a trips set up and a little confusion back there. It's going to be handoff to it's going to be a pass, number 80. Not a lot going on there. That was Aaron Hash, who was the quarterback, and he's going to complete it to Matthew Kyrus, who had dropped one earlier. Now with the completion, not a lot there though. It should be about a 4th and I would think 20, and we'll see what they elect to do with the ball.
Well, Matthew Kyrus, he's a pretty big tight end for a freshman. He's able to come down with that ball, but what a bizarre lineup there for that play call. It looked like they were going trips in the backfield for a run, and then they do a play action, and the quarterback's barely able to shade the defenders and make the pass completed, but bizarre play call. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and forego going for it on 4th, and it's going to be the switch of the sides. So the South will now have the ball starting from end to end on their right side at about the 35-yard line.
Message is received from
4:42 to go in the 2nd quarter. Indeed, North has elected to use their unofficial punt, and the South will take over at the 35, looking to score one more time here before halftime. Emerging out of the huddle, once again, we see their center. Looks like number 91, who comes out a good 3 to 5 seconds early every single time. Cheerful as always to lead the play here. Well, we don't see that number listed. The only one I can think is it's Aaron Fenimore. And this is going to be a handoff and not much there. That's going to be a big loss on the play. Loss of about 4 or 5. Handoff was number 24. And once again, the running game just has not been fruitful in this first quarter, or in this first half. Kyrie Neverson from Tampa with the loss on the play.
Well, it's tough. I mean, they had a decent passing game in the last drive, but like I said, with the North, it's the same thing. You have to keep your running game going in order to get your defense guessing, and so they're trying it out on 1st down. It hasn't worked out for them. Both defenses are playing phenomenal today. They're reading both offenses very well. So it's going to be interesting to see here what the South has in store for the North. They got trips on the right. I'm sorry, 2 receivers on the right.
2 up top, 2 behind, and it's number 12, and he is going to get hit, and that's an easy interception by number 13. His knee was down, so it's an interception where the ball is, but it is indeed an interception as hit while he was throwing. It's number 13 throwing the ball, and it's number 13 intercepting the ball, as Daijay Abate with the throw, and it's intercepted by Chris Butler from Indiana. So Florida native throwing to an Indiana native. North takes over, and it's going to be a 1st and 10, 3:43 to go. So North a little bit of momentum here with that interception. Once again, nice coverage there to force the errant throw.
It's been a theme today of the North trying to come from behind, and their interceptions keeping them in the game.
So here we go. It looks like Mike Middleton is back there again in the running back position. Out of the quarterback role is number 6, and he's going to pick up about a yard. Not much. That's Bo Trammell back out there from Coed, Oklahoma. He's a freshman, and he's part of this quarterback rotation we're seeing today.
Well, I couldn't tell if they were running a quarterback draw or an option But if they were running the option, the running back ran too far ahead and didn't take the angle out to the right. So the quarterback had no choice but to run to the right. I'm still confused, but we'll see if it looks like they're lining up in a similar formation again. They got to get that under control if they want the running game to excel.
Tramble off the field gives away to Fishers back at quarterback, and he's going to immediately look to run. He's going to immediately get wrapped up. It's going to be a loss of 1 on the play, or a loss of 2 on the play, I should say, setting up a 3rd and 11. So, again, a lot of option plays early, a lot of quarterback sneaks of sorts, and they haven't really worked so far for the north side. We got an 8-0 score. It hasn't worked for the south side either. They're only touchdown on a long throw and then a 2-point conversion. But yeah, I mean, it's just coming out, especially in the second half, they're going to have to open up the playbook a little bit and try some other stuff because the south is not falling for any of these moves on the north side.
All right, here we go with some interesting formation types. They bring the wide receiver out, but they keep the running backs in. There we go. Okay, now they have a wide receiver on either end.
South rushing 4. They're in a 4-3. North has a runner in motion. And here's a handoff from number 1, and we have a flag down.
I was going to say, how is that not a legal formation?
Aaron Hash back in at quarterback. It's a false start on the north. That's going to back them up, and it's going to cause about a 3rd and 17 here from the 47. So this drive not looking promising like many of the other drives before it, and the penalty not helping matters. Aaron Hash stays in at quarterback, so we'll get to see more of him. And he's out of the shotgun. He's got 2 back with him. He also has 2 wide receivers set wide, 1 runner in motion. And he's going to hand it off here on 3rd and 17. A tremendous tackle and now a fumble. Picked up by the south side. It's going to be another turnover. And number 7 with the recovery, and he's still running. Another turnover here in this game. It's Brandon Cray. We've seen a lot of him early on. He had the touchdown earlier, and now he has the fumble recovery, an early bid for MVP. And the south has the ball at the 45.
The other number 5, Stone Boss, love that name, coming from Longwood, Florida. He's the one who caused the turnover. The linebacker was a great hit, great fumble cause, and then they have the recovery, and now they got the ball back again. The South is rolling. It's a game of turnovers all day today.
Brandon Hoover Cray just sucking up the football early on, both on offense as well as now on defense, helping out the South side. He's been the scoring one way or another. And now South takes over. They have number 12 back in at quarterback. That's Gunnar Smith, a quarterback name if I've ever heard one. And he's going to be handing it off to number 24. Not much there and a flag down. Another ugly running play. At no fault of the running back. There just hasn't been coverage here from either side.
Kyrie Neverson can't get any blocks. He's got really fast feet on him, but he can't take advantage of them as his offensive line breaks down almost every play. And the defensive line is just manhandling both sides on both teams today, and it's very obvious. There's a pass rush, there's a clogging the middle so the run doesn't get through. We'll see. They're gonna have to go to the passing game. There's a penalty on the ground. It could have been looked like it was holding, but I'm not sure. I think they picked up the flag actually.
No movement of the play there, so it's going to be a 2nd and 13. Didn't look like a penalty one way or another after all, but it is a loss of 3 on the run. And here comes the South, runner in motion, and it's another handoff there. This is 24. This one is a successful run, the first of the day, and breaking out to the outside. That's Neverson finally putting one together. A pickup of about 15 yards, good enough for a first down, good enough to bring the ball to about the 31-yard line for the South. So the chains will move, and the South offense will move with it. Gunnar Smith, the quarterback who's in right now, out of Longwood, Florida, also not a very far drive. He's getting his time. He's also a long snapper as his secondary position, so knows all about what's happening in the I-form formation. And he's going to be here behind center once again out of the shotgun. So a little bit of movement now. Neverson breaking things open a little bit, finally executing a run well. And there's a handoff by 12, tripping as he receives it, and being taken down as number 13. Then it's going to set up a 2nd and long.
That's Dijay Abate, and they got to hurry up here as the clock's under a minute now. They have the ball at the 31. Remember, there's no field goals, so they're going to have to get the ball into the end zone. Calling running plays is not going to get you there.
Gunnar Smith runs back onto the field, getting some signals from the sidelines. Clock is now officially an issue. It's 35 seconds to go, and it's still running. They do have 2 timeouts. Smith's going to go through his procedurals. He's out of the shotgun, and he's going to hand it off. I mean, and going nowhere once again. It's almost the exact same play that we just saw. It's a pickup of about a yard, and it should be a third down. They're going to have to use a timeout. 23.6 seconds. At this point, you have to throw the ball.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the play calls are here. They have 24 seconds. They move the ball 2 yards. It is third down, but I'm looking to go deep again, catch those defenders trying to jump cut the routes, and see if you can get over the top for a fade.
I mean, you have 23 seconds. The ball, you don't have to really worry about a turnover on downs here. Being at the 29, I'm thinking 2 throws here should just about do it.
Worst case that's going to happen is you give them the ball deep in their own territory.
They've not removed the timeout yet, but they should, and there it is. just as I say it, the South loses a timeout. So they have 1 timeout left. Looks like if you look on the far south sideline, making fun of that previous play. As I mentioned on the play, Dijay Abate got the ball and immediately just started falling. And Kyrie Fleming, or Kyrie Neverson, the other running back on the sideline, kind of imitating him during that timeout.
They're having fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you look for here. They're getting along fine. And it's going to be a 3rd and 7 ball at the 29, as we mentioned. So big stand here for the North. They are down already 8-0. South threatening here. You can almost go, I mean, with no field goals, you can almost go to a prevent defense of sorts. It doesn't look like they're going to do that. In fact, there's really no one deep in the secondary. Now they're going to back up into and shift into that. Now they have 2 safeties deep. 12 is back in it. He's going to throw over the corner. It's going to be caught by 16. He's going to dodge 1 tackle, and it's going to take 2 more tacklers to bring him down. So the pass is complete from Gunnar Smith. It is not actually that many yards at the end of the day. With 14.5 seconds, it's going to be another timeout, but it is a first down.
Javin Bullard out of Eatonton, Georgia. Another Georgia player there, making some nifty moves to move the ball forward. Gets them down to the 20-yard line, which is a throwable touchdown if you're Gunnar Smith and you have a gun of an arm. But they have 14 seconds left. They're going to have to do something quick, maybe a little out route to the right, get them down to the 12-yard line, and then take a snag at the end zone. Wondering what they're going to call here.
Well, first down. So now you don't necessarily have to worry about getting a touchdown on this play, although you also have to be either out of bounds or get a touchdown on this play due to the clock. So there's 14.5 seconds. South used their final timeout since that catch was made in bounds. That becomes something to monitor on this play. North, you would think, I mean, if I'm them, I'm probably bringing as many guys as I can legally have and set them back there between the 5-yard line and the end zone. We'll see how they set up. South sets up out of the shotgun. North sets up, and they do indeed have 4 back for this play. Only 3 running backs, or wide receivers, are in motion. 12's going to go. It's going to be a fade. This is deep. Only blue in the area. It's a flag on the play. We'll see what it is. 10 seconds to go.
On his route.
There was no wide receiver, so you would think, as you mentioned, it should be some sort of interference. There was absolutely no wide receiver running the route there. And there must be a reason why he didn't fall.
It's going to go against the offense.
Really?
Weird.
You can make a case for intentional grounding, but it's not that either. It is a penalty on the defense.
Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, it's going to be pass interference. Good call.
Pass interference on the defense. That's going to move the ball half the distance, which brings the ball to the 10. So there's 10 seconds. It's still first down as you get another first down here. And the ball's at the 10-yard line. We have got a little goal line stand necessary here. Probably 2 plays as long as you don't get tackled in bounds between now and halftime. And the North once again setting up in a prevent defense looking formation. They have 4 back, they have 3 linebackers, and then they have 4 up front.
Watch the fade route to the wide receiver on the outside.
Out of the shotgun again is Gunnar Smith. There's the fade. It's a jump ball, and it looks like it's intercepted by the North and now picked up by the South, and they call it a touchdown. This is the second time we've seen that today.
How unbelievable catch. I think that was actually Chase Henry on the catch. There are two wide receivers with the same number 6, but that was Chase Henry on the touchdown grab there. It looked like the defender easily had it, and Henry wrestled it away. I don't know. I might have called it the defender was down for the interception, but they gave it to him. So South going to go up big here, looking for another 2 points to go up 16-0.
We don't have the benefit of replay. I'm with you. It looked like he had it and was down, and only down in the end zone did Pennery, if that was Pennery, take it out of his hands and kind of claim it as his own for a touchdown. But the ref saw it that way. So we have a touchdown by the South. That's a major, major score here. And now a catch as another 2-point conversion completed, going for breaking up the pass there, but Jacob Lowe comes around with it. He gets the 2-point conversion. And just like that, 2.5 seconds to go with that touchdown, and it's 16-0 South. A lot different of a look than 8-0 going into halftime. And they capitalized in a big way with this final drive.
Jacob Lowe from Lake Mary Pratt. He's a big linebacker coming out of Lake Mary. He usually plays linebacker. They had him in the classic Vrabel situation for the 2-point conversion, and they went to him on the out route.
And it wasn't a bad attempt. You could make the argument, a total mismatch size-wise. Bo Trammell was there on the coverage. He's actually a quarterback. It looked like to break that up, and instead he missed it, and that's what made the catch and the 2-point conversion. But it looked like he was going to try, looking for the interception rather than maybe perhaps defending the pass, or defending the receiver. It didn't work out. It doesn't matter now. It's a 2-point conversion either way. And the South leads 16-0. North just goes and kneels it, and we've reached halftime here. So here at Municipal Stadium, we are now officially midway through our afternoon. Halftime in the middle game, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade All-Stars. It's the South 16, the North 0, as we have wrapped up the first half, and we'll be back with the second half in a few short moments. All right, then. What?
The battery is draining quickly. I gotta take this thing and figure out how to...
Where is the Facebook Live on your page?
I guess so.
We're back for the second half here at Municipal Stadium, Larry Kelly Field in the city of Daytona Beach. And we are underway here for the second half of the North-South 7th, 8th, and 9th grade All-Stars here at the NUC All-Star Showcase for football. In this case, middle school and some freshmen in high school. When we left you, South led. It is 16-0 as we head into the second half. We'll see if the North can change things around, but in the first half, Jake, it was largely about turnovers, and it was largely about a couple of big passes leading to the South touchdowns.
Well, the South's passing game really has come into control here. In the first half, they were able to get some nice touchdowns, some good breakaways from their wide receivers, dominating the defensive backs of the North. And not only that, but their defense stepped up, stopping the North on a few good drives that the North started. It came with some costly turnovers. And now that the South has a big lead and looking to contain that lead.
North starting with the football behind center number 1. It's a handoff, and it's going to be to the right side, not going to be much. And now it's going to be a turnover again! And it's number 6 again with the ball for Red. He's going to take it to the house. It's a touchdown to begin the second half, a fumble recovery. And South strikes again.
Wow. Wow, and I think that is Chase Penry, the freshman who caught the touchdown. He has had a fumble strip for another touchdown. So touchdowns on both sides of the ball. He's an early candidate for your MVP of this freshman and middle school game. Wow, what a return. He read that well, picked up the running back, stripped it out, and now it's a score of 22-0 pending the 2-point conversion.
North in a big hole now. It's a 3-possession game as they've committed yet another turnover, and this one begins the half. Not a good start when you're down 16 and 11 seconds in. Now they're down 22 and possibly 24, depending on how this 2-point conversion goes.
You have to hold on to the ball. I mean, they've had 2 strip fumbles at this point, and they got to maintain that ball. They can't carry it with 1 arm. They got to maintain it with 2. And now the South looks for, they sent a guy in motion.
That is going to be incomplete. Nice coverage there on the north side. Nico Martial with the pass attempt. A couple lefties in this game. I think there's 3 of them in total out of the 8 quarterbacks. So we've been seeing a lot of lefty action here in the 7th, 8th, 9th grade game. Did not see any of it last game. 2-point conversion is not good, so it's 22-0 South. That's where North will take over at the 35. Just as a reminder, there are no kickoffs, there are no kicks, there are no punts when it comes to this age group in this game. They just simply take the ball at the 35 if they elect to punt, and they only go for 2-point conversions after touchdowns. That's what leaves us at 22-0. South converted their first 2 2-point conversions. They did not convert the third one. North takes over, trying to get something going here. It looks like they're going to start the quarterback carousel once again, and it's going to be number 4, Robbie Long, back out there. He was in there quite frequently in the first half. He's out there again from Dunstable, Massachusetts, and he's out of the shotgun to begin it. There are 4 wide receivers, and there's 1 running back. Now number 13 in motion, and it's going to be a fake handoff, and it's going to be a passing play, another lefty, and that's going to be thrown and almost intercepted by number 7 on the red side. Incomplete pass intended for number 13, who is in motion.
The defense is just having their way with the offense at this point. South is just completely controlling this game. They read that play beautifully. The wide receiver did trip and fall. However, the linebackers were there to scoop up the ball and almost come away with the pick. But, you know, they're all over this offense. Robbie Long's got to get something going. He's got his wide receivers split out and his running backs as well. You know, either or, running or passing at this point. Both have committed turnovers.
That pass was intended for Chris Butler, who was on motion. Now they have Neverson in motion. And it's going to be dropped back to pass. That is into coverage and almost again intercepted. I mean, at this point, the throws are going more to the south side when North's throwing it than the north. That was very nearly intercepted by Brandon Cray, who's already had a big game today, but instead will come up with a 3rd down.
I'm surprised the refs didn't throw the flag there. They've been pretty flag happy when the quarterback's been in trouble today. And that was a questionable late hit from the linebacker against Robbie Long there at the end of the play, and they didn't pull the trigger. Very interesting to see if they just let them play at this point, because now the linebackers are just crushing people.
Long got roughed up, and Cray already has a touchdown, almost with an interception here. Neither one impacts the result of the play. It's now a 3rd down and 10. And Long back out there here trying to make something happen. He's out of the shotgun. He's got a runner in motion. This time it's number 12. And Long's going to throw it, and it's going to be caught. Not too much on the play. Maybe a pickup of 5. So it's going to set up a 4th and 5. We'll see what they want to do here. Down 22-0. You have to start getting aggressive, one would think.
Well, that pass was completed to Hayden Markham. He comes from Ohio. A lot of Ohio kids in this game today as well, besides Georgia. Those have been the popular states. Good 5-yard catch. The defense just looks gigantic compared to the offense.
Safe to say a large presence from Georgia, Florida, and Cincinnati in this showcase. This is Long going deep. He's got a man, and it is caught. That's a fantastic catch. 13 on the tackle, but it's the catch by number 8, Andrew Lopez, his first of the game. And the North makes a big 4th down conversion there, and they have a whole new set of downs.
Andrew Lopez representing Oxnard, California. Can't say I've heard of that city before, but I definitely have heard of California. That was a great play, and he separated himself on that play. As you can see on the outside, the defender thought it was going to be a button hook, so he's able to create some distance with speed. Gets down the seam, easy pass over the top. Robbie Long with a great completion for a long pickup.
Daijay Abate on the coverage, unable to stop the catch from being made. He does make the tackle. He looks to your right, like he got a little crossed up there, expecting that the pass was going to come in closer than it was. Ends up going deep, and a nice gain there for the North. They've moved over to the 25-yard line here of the South here in the 3rd quarter. We're almost 2 minutes gone by. Runner in motion out of the shotgun. It's going to be a fake handoff. Long's going to try and go up the middle, and he's not going to get much. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to set up a 2nd and 10.
Okay, 2nd down.
All right, well, they got the momentum on their side. Now they're at, well, I would say they're in field goal range. They can't do kicks, so they got to get the ball in. I just keep going to the passing game. It seems over the top seems to be working, and these safeties aren't playing deep. So I think if Robbie just keeps throwing fades to the end zone, he can probably come away with one. Go right back to Lopez.
Ashley Craycroft, number 87, has come out onto the field for the first time today, it looks like. Noteworthy here, she is the only female in this showcase, and she is debuting here, a freshman. So on the older side of this showcase, but she has taken over here on the offensive line, a defensive lineman by trade. So she is on the field. It's a handoff from number 1, and it's going to go, and it's not going to go for much. It's going to be a handoff from 1 to 32, and not much from either one. It was Aaron Hash in at quarterback, handing it off to Tyler Pullman out of St. James, New York. And not a gain there. It's going to be a 3rd and 15, actually, as a loss of 5 on the play.
Kamari Smith from Colorado, number 2. He's a linebacker on the stop there. He has been all over this offense today. Just the entire field. He's making tackles behind the line of scrimmage. He's making tackles on the outside. He's just sniping people left and right. It's quite incredible. This young man's got a lot of talent. He's only in middle school.
Craycroft lined up alongside Kenny Butler. They're on the right side of the offensive line. It is still Hash out there as the quarterback. He's behind center, 1 back with him. He's going to be running. He's a righty quarterback, and he's in trouble. And he's going to throw, and that's almost intercepted. Looks like it hit the ground. It did. Incomplete pass. Going to set up a 4th and 15. We'll see what North does. Maybe they can pull another rabbit out of the hat here on 4th down and get another conversion. But otherwise, good coverage and flushed out of the pocket immediately. There was Aaron Hash.
Well, Aaron Hash, that wasn't his fault there on that play. The wide receiver was on a drag route to the outside, and for some reason wasn't looking back at his quarterback, who was zeroing in on him. And so the ball, sure enough, went over his head, almost picked off. Luckily for them, it wasn't. 4th and 15. They got to get a 1st down here. It's a long 1st down. I would definitely go back to just a deep post route to your wide receiver.
You get the feeling on that previous play the timing was off from the start. I think Hash was probably rushed into what he was doing, and it wide receiver didn't have a chance to finish his route. It's been Chris Butler in motion, but here it's number 5. Hash is back, and he's going to be hit, and that's going to be caught. I don't think he has a 1st down, though. So a lot going on that play. Hash almost gets crushed. He throws it to Neverson, and it is, to Zaire Johnson, which is caught, but it is not enough for a 1st down. So South will take over, and they'll take over at the 35 instead of where it was that the ball ended there. So South takes over on downs, but Hash made an attempt of it, and so did Zaire, and unfortunately unable to convert there.
Well, after a couple big plays early on, that deep pass on 3rd and long that they converted, they weren't able to actually capitalize on it. And despite the great pass play we just witnessed there, the North still unable to come up with a score. Kind of the same thing that the North of the juniors and sophomores earlier were experiencing. They drive the ball down the field and they weren't able to capitalize. Well, now the South, I mean, if they score here, you're looking at a 4-score game with, just over 15 minutes left in this ball game. They're putting it out of reach.
Talon Fisher was one in motion on the previous play. He's also out of Ohio. South takes over on downs, and they have a shotgun scenario here. Runner is in motion. It's number 28, and there's a flag down on the play. It looks like it's probably going to be against the offense for some sort of formational error. Instead, it's a false start against the offense anyway, so that'll move them back 5 yards.
Well, they were set, and while a guy was in motion, number 3 moved, which you can't do, so that triggered the false start. Nico Marischal back in the game at quarterback. He's from Colorado.
There's Caleb Fleming, who's in motion from Grovetown, Georgia Evans High School. Marischal double men motion, gets it up the middle, and this is going to be a little bit of a revenge factor there. Just as he had committed the penalty, Caleb Fleming, a nice run up the middle, showing a burst of speed. And that should be good just about for a first down. So the 5'6" freshman running straight up the middle, nicely designed play there, very deceiving. It's actually short of a first, it looks like, but it will pick up most of those 15 yards. Should be about a 2nd and 3. Or 2nd and 2 upcoming. So there's a gain of 13 on the play for Fleming. And we'll see what's in store here.
They actually got the motion right in the last play. Same play.
Back to center is Martial. And another flag down. This time they didn't get the motion right. So taking turns between legal and illegal plays, this is going to back them up 5 yards now. So 2nd and 2 turns into a 2nd and 7. So we started 1st and 10, we went back to 1st and 15, went to 2nd and 2, and now we're at 2nd and 7.
My guess is they're going to send the wide receiver in motion.
Message is received from
Doubling up on the plays here early, and yeah, it's a pretty good guess. We've seen a lot of receivers in motion. A lot of times they're actually other quarterbacks on the field and just kind of going in motion. We've seen that a lot from the north side. Those quarterbacks don't just play quarterback in the showcase. And most of these guys play multiple positions anyway. If you ever check out their tapes and whatnot, their highlights, they're doing it from all over the field. That was an inside handoff, very simple and not much on it. Back to the line of scrimmage, going to set up a 3rd and 7.
Well, Ben Reed from California, the defensive end, he's a big boy. He came with a tackle there. I'm surprised he's not in more.
3rd and 7 from about the 20. And coming back up, we'll get set here. It is 5 on the line for the south side, and it's 2 wide. It's 4 wide receivers wide there. 1 in the backfield alongside Martial. He's a lefty, and he's going to be immediately sacked. A fantastic play there by number 18 from the north. Not only did he stick his hands up to prevent any sort of throw, but then he also made the sack. Just a great play there, and that's going to bring up a 4th and long.
Great job there. The defensive line able to penetrate through, and that was a running play by design. The linemen get through, break on through to the other side, and an easy 5-yard loss for the North Shore.
So it looks like they're going to elect to give the ball away, if you will. 1st and 10 from the 35. So the once promising drive does not pan out. And we'll see what happens here as we switch sides. And immediately onto the field for the north side, as they're quick to transition there. It's Garrett Marson, the first one on the field, South Carolina. He's an offensive lineman for the north side. North's been setting up early all day long, and as we've said, there's one player on the south side who also does it. I mean, they are quick to get out of the huddle and into formation. It's been all of the other formations off of the line. It's been a problem today, but so far so good. Number 5 back in there for the north side. Over at quarterback, it's Talon Fisher getting some reps, and he's going to hand it off onto the inside to Mike Middleton Jr. A few yards there.
Fumble on the play. The South might have recovered.
Message is received from
That might have been it. Let's see it. Nope, they're ruling it. The Norths kept it. Okay. Looked like the ball came out at the end of that play there after some good blocking by the offensive line.
Mike Middleton Jr. ruled down on the play before the fumble. And that's going to set up a second down and about 9. It was a pickup of maybe 2 yards, one or 2 yards. And here they go, back out of the shotgun now. It's Fisher. Actually, he was just behind center. He's going to fake it. That's a nice little nifty play. He's going to get to the sideline. Pickup of about 4. It's going to set up about a 3rd and 5.
Well, the offensive line is starting to come to life here. Number 58, number 64, we're leading the way. And that's Matthew Bishop from Kentucky, as well as... we don't have a name for 58. But they're able to make some good blocking there up front and lead the way for the running backs. They're starting to get the running game opened up a little here, which is good for the North. The only thing that's going against them, though, is time. They have about 3 minutes left in the third quarter. They're down 3 scores. They got to get something going.
There you go. It's going to be a deep pass over the 25. Tipped up.
Oh,
And almost caught anyway, but incomplete. Nice play over there. A series of nice plays. Zaire Jackson tried to make the catch once, had it broken up by Caleb Fleming, tried to make a catch a second time and just missed. So now we'll have a 4th down. Ben Reed, number 90 out of Vacaville, California, listed. He's the one who's listed at 6'9", 220. I'd be curious if he is indeed that tall, but he is a big boy. He's actually a defensive end by trade. He's been on the offensive line helping out the left side, helping out the blind side. Although when the lefty quarterback's on the field, it's actually not the blind side. So kind of depending on who his quarterback is at the time, it's depending on what position he's been playing. But he's out there helping out from Reynolds High School. So here we go. It's Robbie Long now behind center. 4th and 5. Do or die play. It's going to be a handoff, and it's not going to be enough. That was a handoff, and he stood up. Nice play by the South there to stop him. It's going to be a turnover on downs.
Jacob Lowe. Wow. Just hailing from Lake Mary Prep again, coming up with a tackle there. That was one fantastic move up the middle to stop the running back from getting anywhere.
Turnover on down, 1st and 10 South.
So turnover on down, South takes over. They are on easy street at the moment. 2:42 to go here in the third quarter. They lead 22-0, and now they have the ball at the 41. Third quarter, 1st and 10 upcoming.
Ball's turned over, so the South's going to have the ball now.
South will have the ball at number 91 on the south side, as he so often does, out there leading the way. He is the center there. Unfortunately, don't have a name for him, but he's been doing a great job all game long. And this is going to be a option play out of the shotgun to number 1. So Nico Martial is back on the field, and he's going to actually get close to, if not having a 1st down there. That's a nice option play. Caught the North sleeping to a degree on defense.
Credit Jacob Lowe again. Now he's on the offensive line. He led the way on that option read there. Able to create a nice little hole for the quarterback to sneak through. Great play by the offensive lineman.
South in the huddle, they'll break. 2nd and 1. So he was ruled just short of a 1st down. It's not even a yard that they'll try and convert here from the 31-yard line. Martial out of the shotgun is going to immediately run to his right and immediately be dragged down to number 5. We're going to have a flag on the play. It may have something to do with the way the hit was thrown there. But number 5, very aggressive on that play, Talon Fisher, who again, he is listed as a quarterback, but he's out there on defense. And we'll see what the flag is. It looked like a nice play, although it might have been dragged down on the tackle. We'll see.
It looked like it was, he swiped his hand towards the helmet, and that's potentially what they called. Or they're calling it holding on the offense? Oh, wow. They're going to call an offensive hold.
So offensive holding is going to move this back 10 yards. A very easy 2nd and 1 turns into a much more difficult 2nd and 11 after all that.
Wow.
Defense accepting the penalty, and why not? It's going to move them back even further than the actual play resulted in. And now we have a runner in motion. 2nd and 13 is the official spotting. Number 3 is going to run it, and he's going to run it pretty well. It's going to get him back around the 35. Nice run there. Nice burst of speed from Caleb Fleming again. He's one of those players who's been on both sides of the ball, and we see him there with getting them to a manageable 3rd down.
Fleming's a sneaky back. He's been able to hit the holes very well. He's patient. He waits for his blockers. Once they set up the block, then he turns up the upfield, and he's able to pick up at least 5 or 6 every time he carries the ball. He's sneaking up there around 50 yards on the day.
Ball's up 38. Looks like it's about a 3rd and 8 coming up. And out of the shotgun, they have 2 wide at the top, runner in motion, 1 at the bottom. And it's going to be a handoff, and he's got plenty of room. This is Fleming again. 1st down and then some. He's going to get to about the 21. A big pickup on the play, gain of 17 for a 1st down. Or there is a flag down on the play. I thought we were going to get away with one there. But there is a flag down on the play. We'll see what it is. And it's going to go against the South. So erase that. A 17-yard run has been taken away. We'll see what the flag is.
It might have been Jacob Lowe. It might have been Brandon Burnham. I can't really tell. They were both leading out as Fleming was behind them, trying to run up on the left-hand side. But they got their hands around the collar area of the jersey. And anytime that happens, and the referee's right there, he's going to pull the trigger. And sure enough, penalty flag came down, and they're called for offensive holding.
So holding erases a nice running play, and it's going to result in now a 3rd down, and it looks like about 10 from the 40. Out of the shotgun once again. Martial, fake hand, or he does hand it off. This is the left side. He's got another one, and just again,
that's a late penalty.
Fleming, and Caleb Fleming must have been upset he had that run taken away because he basically duplicated it on the next play. And he gets back to the 21. This time it's a pickup of about 19 and a 1st down. And with 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, South has a 1st down, and they're threatening, knocking on the door of the red zone.
Whatever they're putting in the water of Grovetown, Georgia, keep doing it, because Caleb Fleming is having his way with this defense right now. Just turning, I mean, that ball, he was dead to rights in the backfield. He turns a corner, nice acceleration up the field for a 20-yard gain. Awesome.
Well, his burst of speed has been so great, it's hard to see when he actually gets the handoff, because he explodes out of the backfield so quickly. Here he is again, running up the middle, this time a little bit more in a power back role as he is forced up the middle rather than to the sidelines. It's a pickup of about 5, so we may get one more playoff here in the 3rd quarter, although it doesn't look like there's any desire to do that from either side. And at the end of 3 quarters here, as we wrap it up, we're going to head into the final quarter play. South 22, North 0, and they're going to have a 2nd and 5 from the 17, threatening for more, so it's been completely one-sided. South looking to wrap up their 2nd victory of the day, winning earlier 20-10 in the sophomore and junior game. Now here in your 7th, 8th, and 9th grade All-Star game, they lead 22-0, an even bigger lead. There is no correlation between the Souths, but all 3 games will be North versus South, and right now South is owning this game handily. I mean, Jake, what has it been exactly that has led to this lopsided score?
Well, there's been a couple things. I think it's the battle that the offensive line of the South is winning with the defensive line of the North. They're able to create a lot of time for the quarterbacks to make great decisions, which you saw a couple big pass plays earlier. Now they're winning that battle, and you're seeing the running game explode. And that's why Caleb Fleming's able to get 8, 9, 10, and even, as you saw recently, 20-yard gains there. They're really able to handle the ball well. The offensive line's working. And on the flip side, the South's defense is working probably just as hard, if not better, than their offensive line on offense. And they're able to really create some turnovers. You've seen a couple of strip fumbles, even an interception. And the South is just taking it right now to the North. Well,
needless to say, I mean, Caleb Fleming, of course, the name you'll see, he's exploded out of the backfield the backfield. But the unsung heroes on that offensive line have helped out as well. Brandon Burnham, number 64, Vinny West, 62, Tyron Tulliver, 66, and Aaron Fenimore, 97. Those are your primary offensive linemen who have been in there all game. Just opening up giant holes for him to kind of explode through. It doesn't take a big one. He's only 5'6", Fleming is. And it doesn't take very long. You don't need to leave it open very long for him to get through it. But they've done a great job here controlling the line of scrimmage. There's Martial. He's going to throw high, and it's actually a good job there by number 4 to get a hand on it. So the throw was intended for number 4. It was overthrown, but he did get a hand on it to redirect it, or else that could have been very well intercepted. Noah Richardson from Phoenix, Arizona, Arcadia High School. You needed all 6'2" to knock that ball down.
Has a pretty impressive wingspan too, and that's because the tip was just put it over the safety's head as the safety was coming up for the pick. It was a good job by the wide receiver there to be aware of where the safety was to knock it away.
Marchiola back out there. He's out of the shotgun. He's been the primary quarterback here in the second half. He's going to run it, and he's going to run to the left side. He's actually going to have some daylight, and he's going to get a first down. So, nice run there. That was a designed play, quarterback option, and he decides to run it and convert a 3rd and 5. So, it's going to be a first down, and the ball is now inside the 10 and just kicking outside the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. So, first and goal from the 6. Here in the fourth quarter, 22-0 South, threatening for more.
Wow, Brandon Burnham. What a hole on the left side. He actually took 2 defenders and pushed them backwards to create that hole for quarterback to run through. That was impressive.
Jacob Lowe up there on the line with him. Extra players on the line here as we're at the 6-yard line. It's an I-form formation. There's 2 running backs behind Martial, and then there's number 6. One of the number 6s lined up deep. This is going to be a handoff to the inside. They're going to push the pile a little bit, not into the end zone. Pickup of about 3. That'll move it to about a 2nd and goal from about the 3.5-yard line. And that's where we'll take over again.
Interesting. First down, I wouldn't be surprised if they give the ball to Mr. Fleming. He deserves it too, the way he's been running.
Looks like Chase Penry's lined up at the top of the field there. It's going to be a sneak, and he's going to get close, not into the end zone, but a sneak there by Martial, and he's going to be down at about the 1-yard line. So we're going to have a 3rd down. House money for the South. I mean, they could run it all day long. Clock's ticking. They're about to get another score in some capacity, probably, and they're in total control.
Give Fleming the ball. He deserves it. He's running his wheels off today.
24, Kyrie Neverson is in there as well at running back, so we'll see what they have designed. Generally, the South has enjoyed having 2 running backs back there, and then they usually have a guy wide on both ends. Neverson's back there. He's the first running back, but Caleb Fleming's behind him in the I form. And it's Martial who takes it, and he's going to take it as a sneak. Did he get in? He's right there at the goal line. I don't think he got in. He did not. So Martial short. He keeps trying to take it himself. And we're going to have now a 4th down scenario. Now remember, if they don't score, North does not start from the 1. They start from the 35. So it's a major stop if the North can stop them here, because not only do you keep them from scoring, but you get a 35-yard gain out of it. So the ball is just beyond the 1. It's a 1 and maybe 6 inches beyond that they'll need to get and convert here, and it's a big fourth down stand. If North doesn't come back to win this game, this could be the biggest sign of fight they have left, is getting a stop here.
I think a timeout on the field was called as the clock has stopped 7:52 as both teams look to game plan. 4th and 1, very exciting to see this goal line stands. I mean, if anything's been working for the North, it's been their defense in dire situations. So we're really interested to see if they're able to get this goal line stopped, as you were saying earlier. If they are, they're able to get the ball in good field position. But still, you're down 4 scores with a little under 8 minutes left, and your offense hasn't been moving the ball too well. It's kind of tough to see what late quarter heroics we could see here, but you never know.
Coming out of the huddle here, they have not specified it on the scoreboard, but one would think that it was the South taking that timeout to discuss what they wanted to do here to try and punch it in on 4th down. We'll try and see the clarification as soon as we can. 7:52 to go here in the game. Fourth quarter, 22-0 South. They have the ball just beyond the 1-yard line. It's officially ruled down at the 1. Fourth down upcoming here. So a big fourth down play. They're once again in a little bit of a scattered I-form formation. Lowe is a little off to the right. Marshall is actually in the shotgun, so they moved in the shotgun. He's going to take it one more time. This time it looks like he got in. And that should just put the cap on the game. Marshall with the quarterback sneak on the third attempt. Gets in for the touchdown. The South once again scores. It is now 28-0. 2-point conversion pending.
Wow, Marshall really, I mean, he took the ball in 3 times. The defense, you got to know that's coming. I mean, he's been running QB sneak that whole drive. And they're not able to stop it. He's very tall, slithered right through. Offensive line had some great blocks up the middle. The tight end came around to help. Jacob Lowe was in motion. He got a big block up the left-hand side. And easy score. Now they're up 28, pending the extra 2.
We talk all the time about when you're in the shotgun and close yardage situation. That time it actually worked out. The previous 2 sneaks or options, he was behind center. That time he went out of the shotgun kind of to at least put some doubt into North's mind that worked because it gave him enough room to get the touchdown. Now the 2-point conversion, Marshall is out of the shotgun again. This time he's looking to pass it, but he's going to take it himself. And now he's going to pass a little lob, and it actually didn't work. So Marshall, it looked like for a second could have gotten into the end zone. That was covered by number 20 nicely on the north side. And then he tries to complete the pass to Caleb Fleming with a little lob, and he actually overthrows him. So it's incomplete. Another 2-point conversion failed. And now we're right back where we started as far as the score is concerned. The South has 4 touchdowns. They have 28 points. 2 2-point conversions converted. 2 didn't work. 28-0 here. 7:48 left in the game.
I think he's got to be careful there. I think on that play he had a lot of pressure as he tried to lob that pass. And he got hit in the forearm on his right arm. And as Marshall's been coming off the field, he's actually clutching that forearm. Hopefully the youngster's okay.
We'll have to keep an eye on that. North coming back onto the field. It was Vajon Hampton from Providence Forge, Virginia, who had made the nice hustle to cover up the end zone there. It could have, like I said, Marshall had for a moment the chance to kind of skip into the end zone. Vajon came in and clogged that up. He's from New Kent High School, Providence Forge, Virginia, and he's a freshman. They're actually a running back by trade, but on that play, he made a nice play on defense. North side back on the field with the offense. They're trying to get on the board. It's Aaron Hash back as quarterback. He's probably been overall the most used quarterback. Him and Robbie Long have gotten most of the time. But it's Hash here, Campbellsville, Kentucky. He's behind in the shotgun. It's a motion and it's a fumble, and Hash is going to land on it. It's going to be a loss on the play, and that, in a nutshell, is how it's gone for the North offense today. They're going to back it up about 7 yards. Might as well have been a sack. The fumble was not handled, and he had to fall on it to make sure it didn't get worse.
The center snapped it too early. I guess they were off on the snap count there. As Aaron Hash was expecting the ball to come out probably 2 seconds later. It came out 2 seconds earlier, and he fumbled the ball. Luckily, he's smart and just jumped on it. Didn't try to do anything crazy with it. You know, now they're down 28-0. Almost 7 minutes left. At this point, it's about just kind of giving these kids an extra showcase. And not really trying to do anything crazy, but, you know, still try to do what you can to show your talents no matter what you're down in the scores. It's still a great game, and you still want to show what you can be made of.
2nd and 18. If at this point, I'm airing it out all day long. This is going to be caught by number 80. Nice play for Matthew Kyers. And he's going to get along back to basically the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be at a 3rd and 11 upcoming, game of 7. And you're absolutely right. I mean, this is probably, from a competitive standpoint, not what the North signed up for, especially the offense. They've left them, they're down 28-0. They are probably not coming back, 6:50 to go in the game. But, yeah, I mean, you made the trip out here. You are obviously a very high-level talent to be in this game in the first case, to be showcased. At this point, it's just about, do play there by Jarek Jackson that time.
Jarek Jackson using those long legs that he has down to get down to the outside and get a 7-yard pickup. Ironically, they have the same jersey number, but him and Chase Penry have been doing so well today on both sides of the ball and catching for their quarterback. Nothing can go wrong for this offense right now.
And interestingly, it's the South up 28-0. They're the ones still passing the ball.
Yeah.
And North is down 28-0. They've been running the ball. So definitely some experimental aspects of this game. It's obviously an all-star game. They're not playing for anything except fun and exposure. But funny to see nonetheless. It's just so unorthodox. There's a handoff to number 3. We've been talking about him all afternoon. That's Caleb Fleming. Explodes there again out of the backfield. And I don't think he actually got the first down, though. It was well covered. Should be a pickup of a couple. They had it at 3rd and 4, which I thought was a pretty poor spot on the previous play. I thought it would be a 3rd and 2. Now he does pick up about 2, so we have a 4th and 2 at 34. And we'll see what the South wants to do.
I'd go for it.
At this point, there's not much to lose. We're now under
Yeah.
4 minutes, 3:56 to go. And we have a stoppage in play here, so North and South will convene once again. There is a timeout called on the field.
Quit running. I'm not touching anything.
4th and 2 from the 32-yard line once these teams finish huddling up.
What do you? So if you're the North and you go to a big bowl like this, you know you lose 28-0. If you're the coach of the North, what message are you delivering to the kids after the game? Like, what are you saying to kind of keep them pumped up?
Well, I mean, they're so young, 7th, 8th, and 9th
Yeah.
grade. I'm delivering the message that this is a learning experience. You know, they're going to
Say
have
again, I'm
games
sorry,
like
okay.
this, no matter where they're coming from, whether it's a great
Yes,
prep school or
You're
whatever.
coming back now.
And they're going to have to learn how to stay focused. I think this is more about building character. When you lose big and win big,
Okay,
it's
this
two different
game's only got like 3
experiences,
minutes
but
left.
they're both about building character, and I think you just have to kind of focus on one thing at a time. You're not focusing on winning this game. That's not going to happen. You're focusing right now on getting this stop, and then the offense is focusing on getting on the scoreboard.
There he
And
goes.
there goes Caleb Fleming with a little cherry on top. He runs around the defense again. It is a pickup of about 30, and he's going to bring it down to about the 2-yard line. So if there was any chance there of the North getting the ball back and trying to score here before there's further damage done, it was just a race there. And he's going to be tackled. It looks like they're going to call him down actually at the 7. So he did not get any more yards after that. But nevertheless, it's a 25-yard pickup and a 1st and goal.
He's looking like untackable, and
I got a blue light. Says 110.
great play by Young there, and that's what you have to take away from this. You never stop. Don't stop until the whistle blows, as we've all heard before. And even in a game like this, doesn't matter what the score is, you're looking to showcase everything you got.
All right.
And when they're watching,
When
you
this
make
is
a tackle
over,
like
I'm
that,
shutting down
scouts
for a
raise their
couple
eyebrows.
hours.
So good play by Young.
Number 57, Garrett Marcin, is from South Carolina. He's a middle schooler,
Okay.
offensive lineman, also on the north side.
Okay.
There's a handoff to the right side.
See you.
And bottled up again. So the North doing a good job protecting the run. They know it's coming, and they're doing a good job stopping it. 3rd down upcoming. We might have one more play here just from a mathematical standpoint. The clock is now under 25 seconds. And we don't have active game clock, so it's tough to tell how much time exactly is left before the next play has to take place. But the clock is now at 10
that might
seconds,
be it.
and I think they may have decided that that's it regardless. As players are headed to the sidelines, crowd is applauding, and we have a final score here in the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade All-Star game here in the NUC All-Star Football Showcase. At the end of our second game, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade All-Stars, it was the South 34 and the North 0. A blowout in this one. South has won the first 2 matchups, winning the 10th and 11th grade matchup earlier today, 20-10. And we have 1 game left. It'll take place live at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time in about 2 hours, when it's seniors only in the Senior Showcase. North versus South one more time, 5:30 p.m. We will come back at you then. This has been Vince Mercadetti and Jake Schwartz from Stall Talk here, broadcasting the NUC All-Star Showcase at Municipal Stadium in Daytona Beach, and we'll be back in a couple of hours.
Go Seniors!
Sorry guys for all the confusion, and
Sorry, what's going on?
it keeps dropping the signal.